for the benefit of my country and for the region also. My objective is to fight corruption and poverty everywhere, and to fight fraud globally. Global fraud should be, this is my primary target. And as James said in his speech, I'm trying to find new friends, achievers. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, one of the most important parts of any leaders, first you have to have your clear visions, and not only your financial goals. And number two, you have to be surrounding yourself with successful people. I'll give you a little bit of a story just to change the mood of the rooms here. And after we finish here, I'll turn the floor and we welcome Mr. Fatika on our forums here. There is a big falcon in the top of the mountain, and she has 3 eggs. And one of the eggs fall down to the valley. One old chicken, she lay down on that eggs until it came out, and it became a big falcon, but he was living with all the chickens. And he grew as a chicken. He lived all his life as a chicken. One time the falcon was flying, and he said, I wish I could fly like them. Of course he can. And all the chicken around him, what they said, ha, 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 you're a chicken, you cannot fly. What happened? He died as a chicken. So the number 1 is get your goal straight. The number 2, you must surround yourself with successful people. And number 3 is time management. Our next speaker.
Thank you, Chairman Rashid. Fellow members of the New Leaders Forum of Tomorrow for Africa and Middle East, my name is Rami Majzoub. I'm coming from Lebanon. Along with my friend Khalid sitting next to me, we were the founders of JCI Lebanon. At the professional level, currently I am the Director of Development at the Lebanese American University. At the civil society level, we mentioned the JCI, an organization with which I've been involved a lot. I currently have the honor to serve with the JCI International Board as the appointed JCI UN Affairs Commissioner in charge of the relationship between JCI and United Nations for Africa and Middle East. I also had the privilege to serve on many NGO and be the founder of many NGO within the framework of social entrepreneurship to make our country better. To answer your question, Chairman Rashid, related to what we would like to see on our grave, which I hope will be not very close from now in terms of time.
Inshallah, طولة العمر.
Thank you. Basically, I have many dreams. I have some trouble having it only one goal. I have dreams for my country and dreams for the region. For instance, a country, probably you know, we have 18 different religions and communities. So at least to have synergy between them instead of highlighting the commonalities instead of the difference to make it a success story as our country. And for the Middle East and Africa also, it saddens me when I see that we need mutual visa between each other, and to visit our fellow friends we have to come all the way to Brussels, which is very nice, by the way. But so my dream is to have one day kind of European Union paced for Africa, in the sense of having the community of African and Middle Eastern economic nations. And it doesn't really matter whether to achieve this, I would have to be before to be a simple citizen or prime minister or president of my country. This is not the issue. The issue is to be able to reach that. And you are a leader in whatever position you're assuming. So this is what I would like to see, and written on my grave that I brought my modest contribution to these goals to happen. Thank you very much.
To say a word on what you just said.
It was really interesting. Yeah?
Thank you. Very interesting thoughts. I would like to congratulate that gentleman. And before Mr. Chairman gives me the microphone to say a few more words, I would like to pinpoint one major issue the gentleman raised. Is any life that's not useful for the broadest possible number of people has no meaning. being a leader is starting to being useful first, to not only to yourself, but more importantly to others. It doesn't matter at which level. It doesn't matter at for how much money you make for yourself. Is being useful. You can be a leader in helping all people cross the street because they have a hard time doing that for themselves. And I would like to congratulate that young man and tell him that personally, any opinion is very relative, you know. But personally, that's the right path to leadership. But I'll say a little more on that later on. Thank you.
To get back to the goals, if you remember in our first, we have breaking the goals into 6 goals, which is career goal. As you said, you want to be a prime minister. But there is a personal relationship goal. And what I mean by that, it's like devoted 2 hours each day to get to know your children, to convert a former enemy into a friend. Recreation goal. For example, you would like to go to a safari, buy a boat, take a trip around the world. Personal growth. What is the problem with you? Whatever problem you have, learn to make better use of your time, learn how to control your temper, go away to college, volunteer for charities. So goals is not one. You could put 100 goals, but the difference between goals and Gaia, goal is you have to define the times for it. And Gaia is what you like to have it at the end of your grave. Our next speaker.
Thank you. Do you mean by Gaia? Gaia?
Naam, Gaia.
In Arabic, yes.
Yes, I'm sorry, I cannot find the right word for it in English, except one translation.
Target or aim. Maybe.
It's called the end, which is they translate it one time, which is the end justify the mean.
Could be that way, yes. Thank you. My name is Mohammed Al-Dali. I work in the League of Arab States. It's a political organization aiming at coordinating policies between Arab states. I think what we should focus on here is how to develop our societies, because we all need development. We all need political and economic reforms, not just our private ambitions in our business or so forth, but a lot of countries in the whole world now, especially in Africa, need a lot of reforms. How to fight unemployment, corruption, how to have transparent policies, how to develop the real sense of human rights. And above all, I believe that the road to this is democracy. When we have real democracy in most of the countries, I think we'll be better off. But without this, I don't believe that we're going to have a very easy road to attain our objectives. We need to avoid conflicts and disputes in the single country and between countries. So with democracy, I believe that we're going to have a very successful work. It's not easy, but it's not impossible as well. Thank you.
I am Francis Kasaira from Malawi. I'm a civil engineer by profession. I changed my career last year to a politician. So I'm a member of parliament and a deputy minister of transport and public infrastructure in Malawi. I decided to change my career last year because between 2004 and 2009, the business of government in Malawi became almost to a halt in the country because parliament was doing more of politics than thinking of developing the country. So I decided to leave the office and go back home and support the community and probably change for the better. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Because you're from Malawi, I did a lot of study in Malawi, and I'm going to release a secret. Nobody knows about it except the two of us. And yesterday I had a talk with the ambassador, the minister, His Excellency, just behind you, from Malawi, and we had a very strong debate. about why don't you give 10 hectares to the Malawian peoples. You already succeed. You are one of the fewest countries in the world who have moved from a very poor importer of food to an exporter of food. So you already succeed the beginning. Why don't you take the second step? He promised me, I'm sorry, Your Excellency, I have released our secret. He promised me when he go to Malawi, and please, you will be as a witness in here, that is, he will do his best to sell the land, not rent, not lease 100 years, no, sell the land, 10 hectares per family to Malawi. So I released the secret, Your Excellency, and I apologize for that. But I think if I achieve this goal out of coming to Cram, Montana, for me, it's